So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. And we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. And begin to let go of attending to the outside environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Concentrating your awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And when the mind feels more calm, we generate a broad, altruistic motivation for our time, taking a moment to intentionally widen our circle of concern, trying to embrace countless sentient beings within the field of our practice, thinking that Just like oneself, all sentient beings deeply wish to be happy, deeply wish to be free of even the slightest negativity. And just like oneself, sentient beings meet with difficulties and obstacles again and again, never being truly, perfectly satisfied, perfectly happy. And every sentient being has an equal claim to being successful in their striving for happiness, striving to be free of suffering. And so working for the benefit of all sentient beings is the most reasonable, most logical way of living our lives. And in order to do that, we must become deeply familiar with the states of mind that support that kind of beneficial, constructive action. And we must reduce our familiarity with states of mind that give rise to harm to others. That process of genuine inner transformation is the only way to work effectively for the benefit of others. So we take that as our motivation. And then with that motivation, in Venerable Rene's weekend retreat, he emphasized bodhicitta as being the greatest realization that we could aim for in this life. It's the key to enlightenment. Other traditions also lead a practitioner into the wisdom realizing emptiness, but bodhicitta is the only doorway into enlightenment, full enlightenment, combining bodhicitta with wisdom realizing emptiness. And he introduced 11-point meditation that combines the 7-point cause and effect and the equalizing and exchanging self for other contemplations together. So I thought over the next few, perhaps several classes, we would go through again the 11 points. The foundation of the 11 points is equanimity. First, overcoming our natural tendency to preferentially care for those who we think are benefiting us, and to be averse to the interests of those that we think have caused us harm, and to be indifferent to the needs of strangers, those who neither help nor harm. That natural tendency is an obstacle that we begin dealing with before we could ever hope to generate bodhicitta. With this first contemplation on equanimity, which comes before the 11 points, we begin by visualizing oneself in a larger open space. And in front of us, seated facing us, on our right side is a loved one. Directly in front is someone that agitates our mind, someone we disagree with or have conflict with. And to the left is a person that we saw in the last few days, that we saw on the street or in a store. You just know their face, but they didn't interact with us, didn't do anything harmful or beneficial. We just noticed them in the background. So visualize these three people seated facing you. And turn your attention first to the person that agitates your mind. And think back to your history with this person. Try to think of what has given rise to that agitation, that sense of aversion. And try to realize that this person acted in ways that just I myself find difficult. Perhaps they hold views contrary to mine, or I think of them or perceive them to be less generous, less patient, less kind than I prefer. But imagine if that person began to act more kindly, or if they changed their views, and just our own mind would be more at ease. And in response to that, we would begin to label them as a friend. We can think too over beginningless past lives. This person has been our closest friend, even a parent or our child or a brother or sister, our husband or wife. So recognize that there's no stability within one life or among countless lives to that label. Try to subdue that feeling of aversion. As Venerable Rene said, the antidote is only beneficial if it results in a decrease in the afflicted emotion. And turn your attention to your dear friend and recognize the warmth and closeness that arises. And again, try to analyze your history. What is it that gives rise to that response? And again, you'll notice that this person acts in ways that individually you find pleasing. But if they were to stop, you might easily regard them as an enemy. Or if you were to lose touch for many years, they might become like a stranger. And were they to change categories, our interest in benefiting them would also change, simply based on how pleasing they are just to oneself. I think this is totally wrong, a superficial distinction. And then think of the stranger. Notice a sense of indifference that arises. This person has no connection with me, so if they were to ask for help, I wouldn't be particularly inclined. I might offer help if it was easy, quick, but not difficult, not over a long time. But if we began talking, if we had common interests, if he or she spoke pleasantly, pleased my mind, we might become friends, and then I might be willing to work for their benefit. I think again, this superficial distinction is completely irrational. All of these sentient beings are the same. They all wish to be happy. They all wish to be free of suffering. There's no valid reason to discriminate between friend, enemy, and stranger. It's just the operation of the ego. Try to generate some feeling of equanimity, having contemplated in that way, and rest your mind in that insight without any distraction. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. We'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you actualize that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind. I think that that positive energy, the fruit of your practice, is something that you offer freely for the benefit of all sentient beings. Thinking strongly when that positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.